The first song begins with a kind of prelude from the percussionists, a kind of shimmering or shivering, an awakening, and also a settling into the sound world. And then we arrive in a kind of murky underworld, which is created by the saxophone, tuba, clarinets group, also with their middle instruments. And they're a kind of heavy, murky, sometimes very sumptuous, sensuous, always pianissimo, certainly at the beginning, group who are playing at different times in different rhythmic organizations, descending lines. And they're not playing in normal semitones like, they're playing using quarter tones. So you hear all the in-betweens of the notes. So you hear yeah. It's a kind of super fine tuning that at first feels unnatural, and then after a while it feels very natural. It's like, what were we missing, you know? The voice then comes in, and the first words that I'm singing, de qui se doit de mourir comme ange, are these kind of stuttering, awkward outbursts, louder than the other instruments, kind of interrupting them. And every time I sing the word ange, angel, the trumpet joins me on that note. Cyrus Alyar, who's on trumpet, and the note is all of a sudden long and sustained with a crescendo, and it's almost like a competition between the two of us. We're on a different note, and we are trying to become one instrument on that note. And the same thing happens with the flute. Every time I sing mourir, to die, Ingrid Geerlings on the flute joins me, which is in the lower register, and we become one instrument on that word. So I have these two dialogues going on. Finally, towards the end of the piece, the violin enters, Nadia Weisenbeek, who was also our concertmaster for the whole recording. And she starts in the final section of this first movement, leading the other players in a caressing, descending gesture. And it kind of reminds me of two things. It reminds me of an angel's wings that are caressing, drooping, like the final chorus of Dido and Aeneas by Purcell. So if you imagine that image and the softness of the feathers. But at the same time, there's a kind of murky, big band feeling, but slow and rich, like a big band in the underworld. So that's this kind of caress that brings us to the end of the first movement, the death of the angel.